In today's video, I'm going to take a close look at this JVC. This is a model R950BT, so this one is higher up in their line, not the flagship, however, but this piece here deserves attention, and there's a few reasons why this piece deserves attention. One is because it's made by my good friends at Japanese Victory Company, also known as JVC, which I like. I've always liked JVC. Now this piece here is very unique because for the price point that it's being sold at, which currently, at least on our site and most other people that are competing with us, I know that there's always these penny under sellers running around, you know, every minute of the day. However, but this piece right now is $119 or less. So under 120 bucks, you can actually own one of these units. When I get done telling you all the stuff that this thing does, you actually might want to have to go out and run and buy yourself one because it's just that much for such a little amount of money. So first off, what's new with this piece is it's got multi-colored LED indication. I mean, you can see what's going on here. I don't even know what you even call this. You can actually adjust the colors, but not just one or two different ways. In most of the units, you would be able to adjust the LCD color to be one thing, and then the rest you could do a separate color, such as like the Pioneer. Pioneer came out with that feature in 2014, and that was a pretty big thing for them. JVC just smacked them up beside the head and just came along with this three-way illumination, which to me is nuts. I mean, I could see that a lot of these manufacturers are coming out with these really nutty displays, but JVC took it and moved it up a notch. So, again, for the price range, you got to keep that in mind because to me, it's just unfathomable. There's so much going on here for such a little bit amount of money. And so, this unit right here, Bluetooth built into it, is compatible directly with iHeartRadio and Pandora. So, if you're a big iPhone user, you're really going to benefit the most from this radio. And the reason why is because you can actually control Siri directly from the radio. The microphone, which is not built in like it is on so many other radios, I'm going to show you, when I step back and show you the front, the rear, and the side, and the whole thing about this unit, but this one comes with an external microphone. So it's actually going to give you a very good crisp quality for your money for the Bluetooth, and I really like that, and I really like to accentuate when I see something that's really good quality, something that's giving you something, not just the same old crap like last year with a different light on it. This unit actually is different, and it does stand above the rest for that reason and a lot of other ones. So I'm going to get into some of those other things right now. So most of the features that I'm going to explain to you are very iPhone compatible. So I mean, it's no secret that Apple gets all the love out there. Android is awesome. I have nothing bad or good to say about it. Android does work, of course, with Bluetooth, but some of these features are just real iPhone, it's just made for iPhones. I mean, I have nothing, I'm not biased one way or the other. Android, iPhone, who cares? But just know that if you are an iPhone or an Apple user, you're really going to benefit the most from this unit, okay? Now, so the 950BT is a CD radio. It also plays MP3s, AACs, WMAs, which are Windows media files, all encoded on your discs. No problem. I talked about the three colors of illumination, so that's really cool. You can adjust all three of them as far as the brightness and intensity of it, or you can just tune them all down and have a real subtle, modest looking receiver if that's more your style. So don't be thrown away if you see that the radio's going a little crazy and it's a little bit more than you are into. It's okay. Smartphone integration, like I said, once you pair up your phone, you can use the Bluetooth to its absolute fullest potential. You can receive text message and notifications on the radio, stream from your phone from the stored music on your phone, or access internet radio, of course, and stream that to your radio depending on your phone's features. iPhone can even communicate with the Siri without picking up your phone. So that's another huge phone, like I was saying, really cool for iPhone. The USB port, which is located right here on the right side, is nice because it's in the front. So many of these other manufacturers are including a pigtail from the rear of the unit and having you run it out. This one here gives you the option of having it right in the front. To me, it could be a detractor. It could also be a benefit because, to me, I think the guy who's going to buy this radio is going to be more of a portable USB, MP3 kind of guy anyway. So I think, for me personally, I think they made the right choice with that. But you be the judge because you ultimately are going to be the one to buy this or not. On the rear of this unit, there's some really cool stuff to talk about, and I want to show you. This unit has a 5-band parametric equalizer, which JVC is I've always had a real love for this unit for how they use the functionality of audio control. I've never found any manufacturer who does it much better than them. Although JVC is mated with Kenwood, make no doubt that there's a complete distinction between how Kenwood and JVCs operate. They're not underneath the same roof, whoever is controlling and designing these things, so don't worry about that. This unit's got plenty of power. The chip that's in here is very clean. It's very hard to make it distort and you know, tolerate a whole bunch of noise. If that's something you can't deal with, you want something that's going to give you some good audiophile sound just for a standard receiver with a chip the size of a radio like this can have, you're going to get about the most you can get. The RCA's high voltage, 2.5 volts, which is excellent. If you're looking for more, you can always look into their Arsenal line, which is their premier line. So if you're an audiophile, that's the place you need to go. Look at JVC Arsenal line, not just the regular JVC series. I don't know if you even knew it existed, but it's there. God, where else can we go? The iHeart link for JVC is an app that you can get on your phone. You're going to need that to utilize it to its fullest potential to pair with the unit. Aside from the CD and the AM/FM tuner, which of course has 18 presets for FM, 6 on AM, I won't waste my time talking about AM and FM because really, you know, it's AM/FM. But it does have RDS built into it, which is radio data service, so it will give you the inherent text on the display, which you can see the text scrolling around on the display. It'll give you that for the stations and broadcast information will come right on the display for free without buying any optional parts. The face is detachable. You get the 3 colored display zones for the illumination, which I touched on a little bit. The front USB on the right, which I told you about. Drive charge, you can select multiple flash drives or memory cards in a connected USB hub or a memory card reader. This unit comes with a free wireless remote control, which is this little guy. It's a JVC, it's an R950BT. They've used these for a long time, and it's nice because so many manufacturers just don't give those to people any longer. They're becoming a thing of the past, and it's nice to see that somebody's still throwing people a bone, especially again for the price, man, for the price you can't go wrong. So you can work, of course, your iPod, iPhone, or an iPad control. If you need to know compatibility for your different, you know, models, if you have an older or newer one, check JVC's website for the latest compatibility. The Pandora and iHeart control works with iPhone and Android. Both are a little bit different, and for your specifics on how each one works with either of those two services, again, I recommend you looking at JVC's site because that stuff is so changing, forever changing, and I don't want to give you the bad information because it could be different by the time this video is published or by the time your eyes get to see it. So I talked about the Siri Eyes Free support with compatible phones, which of course is no secret there is an iPhone. You have the front, you know, auxiliary input jack and USB, and I think it's time we back this thing up and show you some of the specifications on this unit and stuff that's going on in the back, because that's what really separates the men from the boys. So let's go there now. Now here's a look at the back of the unit. Over here we have the JVC harness, which you can see is the smaller harness. I mean, JVC has a couple of them. They have one which is the larger harness, and they also have this one here, which is the smaller of the two. So this one here actually has the smaller of the two. So note that if you are upgrading or changing a JVC to another JVC. Over here you have a steering wheel control input. It's even got the steering wheel remote lead right here on the back of the unit, which is pretty cool. 16-pin harness. You have an illumination wire. You have, you know, speaker front left, rear right. You know, 4-channel output. Nothing exciting going on over there. Down here you have your antenna input. You have your 2 sets of preamp outputs, which are front and rear, or you can control and select, make one a dedicated subwoofer output and have the other one running full range should you choose to be. If you need something with a front, rear, and a dedicated subwoofer preamp output, this unfortunately is not the radio for you. So boo-hoo on that, but again, for the money, yay. I like that. So as I was saying, this here is the microphone. This is the proprietary microphone which JVC has been using. You can actually remove this little piece and you can flush mount this mic, which I've done actually in my own car because I actually do own a JVC. And the jack is pretty typical of all the car audio. And they actually are interchangeable, so if you ever need to add one, replace one, it should be pretty painless. That was nice of them to do, so thank you for that, JVC. The little remote control, as I talked about, which is the RMRK52. Take it out of the bag so you can get a little closer look. It's really nice. It's got the basics. Your sound controls right there is your mute, source, changes your tracks and stations right there, volume up and down. Very straightforward. You cannot turn the radio off with this remote. That's the only thing that really stinks about it. But aside from that, hey, it's a free remote, so what can you say about that? Nothing. Real quick before I sign off on this video, I just want you to see a close-up from the faceplate. Right there, there's your CD slot load, your little LCD I already touched on the USB right there. If you couldn't tell, that there is the 3.5 analog auxiliary input. Your presets are right there. Display button, rotary encoder knob, which is a push-in, and you can also control it by doing the old, spinny deal. This has been pretty typical of JVC, and it's good because it's nice to see a multi-toggle. Over here you have the menu button, which you press and hold to access all your features. I assure you, very easy to control and change and alter all those things. Source button is conveniently laid out right here. Forward and reverse right here, and up on the top you have your eject and your phone buttons laid out right there. So good job at JVC. So if you're looking for a really good middle-of-the-road JVC head unit, this thing is definitely worth a look. It's a R950BT. If you liked the video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a like, would you? Bye-bye.